Welcome to Brutally Honest, the unbiased, unbought, and unapologetic review show. Today it's the new Saints Row Reboot on the chopping block, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Stay tuned. The Saints Row games have always held a special place for me. It's one of my all-time favorite franchises and has given me literally hundreds, possibly thousands of hours of fun. This game was no exception. It was an absolute blast from start to finish. It is also, however, far from perfect. I played through the story twice and did a full 100% completion the second time through. Now, the world of Santo Ileso is vast and teeming with life. As you drive around, you'll see car accidents and fender benders, as well as people who have been pulled over by the cops, couples arguing on the side, and even people getting into fistfights. It definitely makes the game feel more alive, which is cool. However, sometimes it's too alive, as cars will drive like maniacs, try to cut you off, ram into you, etc. Having a ton of cars is great for activities like, say, insurance fraud, but it can be insanely frustrating for delivering the toxic waste barrels for Bright Future, as you can imagine. There are also quite a few characters around. Unlike the other games, this one doesn't revolve around gangs, and instead takes a more mafia-style approach with organized crime via criminal ventures. Through a series of events, you and your friends decide that working for others isn't worth it anymore, so you decide to start your own criminal organization, dubbed the Saints.
Guys, we're really good at what we do. So why are we doing it for other people and not ourselves? I mean, you know how to start a business. Kev knows how to get attention. I'm a walking murder party. And Nina? Nina's the best goddamn driver in the business. Who could touch us?
You then set up shop in your new church HQ, which I'd like to point out is located on 3rd Street. You then proceed to piss off everyone around you in a very, very Saints Row fashion. The things that this game does right, it does very well. Unfortunately, there are bugs that hinder many of those things, such as this game features the best driving, and especially flying, of any game in this genre I've played, without question. It's an absolute blast cruising around this massive playground. However, the physics are so off, sometimes you feel like you have the density of a small planet as you plow through literally everything in your way. And check out these fire hydrants. Whee! They brought back clothing layers, which is awesome, though there is this lovely bug that randomly removes your jackets, changes your clothing colors back to default, and even changes your underwear for absolutely no reason whatsoever. The weapon customization also resets periodically, which sucks because sometimes those take a long time to get just right if you're anal retentive and or OCD like I am. Hopefully this gets fixed soon, as it can be really freaking annoying. Oh, and then there's this. And this. It's all good. Nothing to see here. The combat is fast-paced and insanely fun. The new RPG mechanics that they put in added a new level of immersion to the game for sure. I know that this is something that some sandbox gamers didn't like, but it's honestly one of the best new features to the series. Also, sometimes the takedown animations glitch and can lead to some pretty interesting experiences, to say the least. The game has bugs for sure, but I didn't run into a single one that was really bad or game breaking. The worst I found was fixed by simply restarting checkpoint and continuing on. In fact, most of the ones I experienced my first time through were gone on my second, and some were even kinda funny. My first playthrough was 100% co-op with my wife, and some of the glitches were downright hilarious. The character creator in this game is absolutely outstanding, one of the best out there hands down. Volition did a fantastic job on this thing. I feature custom character creations on my channel from various different games, and this creator far and away rivals them all without even breaking a sweat. So kudos to them on that. Credit where credit is due, definitely. The side content in this game is quite varied, and there's even some unique things to keep you busy during your time in Santo Elisa. Each criminal venture has its own gameplay loop for you to do in order to take control of a given district, as well as many side activities such as side hustles, photo scavenger hunts, historical sites to explore, various collectibles such as drug pallets, rare car parts, and even the majestic golden dumpsters. Oh sweet! New hat! The story is good. Not great, but good. It's definitely one of the better stories in this genre, and it had a few nice twists. The characters are good for the most part, or at the very least, interesting. Some mildly entertaining. The voice acting left a lot to be desired, however. Not because they were bad per se, some of them were, but not all. But many of them felt like they were trying too hard, almost like a parody. The Hispanic boss, for example, sounded like he was trying to mimic an old Cheech and Chong movie. Having heard the voice actor speak many times before in other games, it's clearly done intentionally, and I have no idea why. This is honestly my biggest complaint by far. I'm a bit of a VA snob, to be honest, though I will admit, boss voice number 2 did a great job, so props to her.
You are aware that didn't solve the issue, right?
Yeah, but he was being a dick.
Overall, it was a Saints Row game. Exactly what you would expect from a Saints Row game, with some new surprises. I liked it, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming story expansions, which there are 3 confirmed at this time. The story was paced well, and the ending was perfect given the flow of the game. And I'm curious to see what's to come of this new crew. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. It did so much good, but there was also a lot of bad, and not just the bugs. The crew goes from non-purple to bam, new purple duds in like an instant. Nina gets a custom leather jacket despite us supposedly being broke, and Kevin gets a big ass tattoo on his ribcage, and there's no mention of any of it, like it just happened magically. Like, what? The church is connected to the story instead of allowing us to buy the upgrades like in the past. And the customization of the church itself is extremely lacking. Especially given the great strides they made with the insanely good customization of literally everything else. It's extremely disappointing. All in all though, this is the start of a new chapter in the franchise, so let's see where it leads. I'm here for the journey, good or bad, and I'll bring you along for the ride if you'll let me. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. Later.